Hello, this is Decoherent, and welcome back to Torment, Tides of Numenera. So we've been exploring Little Neelesh. We showed up, broke up a fight. We met the ruler of Little Neelesh. It's kind of a strong word, maybe. Who's a nifty mutant. Not a mutant, I'm sorry. Yeah, they are mutants, I'm sorry. He's an alien mutant that hangs out in this cool environmental chamber. We found the guy that had been threatening our friend at the trader back at the beginning, who also turned out had been holding Delny captive, so we got her freed, and then we came over here and we met this other lady, Herja, who is being imprisoned until she admits to committing crimes that she says that she is innocent of. So we have a couple things that we haven't quite done yet. So we have the option to ask Delny to use her mental powers to figure out what it is the Maw wants, and I'm holding off on that for the moment. I also have the option of pushing Herja into either lying in order to get herself free or something like that, and I haven't done anything with that yet either. I'm going to finish meeting all the new and exciting people here, and then we'll make some decisions.
Doing begets learning, I guess.
So we have a couple of people up here we haven't spoken to yet. Wonder. And Entozan. Oh, and Crumper. Geez, there's a bunch. Okay. Oh yeah, we've got to go poke in here quick. Let's not forget that. First, Wonder. As you approach this bulk of stone and fur, it starts to move, becoming less of an inanimate object and more of a man. Before you stands a giant figure with a beard so thick it seems like sculpted granite. But when you see his gentle eyes, a tangible wave of peace washes over you. I am happy to see you, Adon. He speaks carefully, as though every word is a step upon icy ground. You've been gone too long. Hi, I'm not Adon though, sorry. Gentle confusion wrinkles the mutant's stony brow, making a sound like boulders shifting against one another. It is me, Adon, he says slowly. Wonder. Perhaps it has been too long. Perhaps you do not remember me. His shoulders sag as he says this. Well, I'm sorry that I've made you unhappy. Do not be sorry, he says with a gentle sigh. You must help many people. It was foolish to think that you would remember me. Why have you returned, Adon? Can I help you in any way? Well, how are you doing? Better than before, he says shyly. Better than before we met. Then there was sadness in me, rage and sadness, fed by my many thoughts. But you found the stranger inside me and took it out. He spreads his rocky palms. Since that day, I have felt peace. Oh, who's this stranger that you mentioned? I do not know, he says, shaking his head back and forth 4 deliberate times. But it entered my head in the accident. It was heavy, like a golden stone. It made my thoughts faster, but sharper. They made me sad. They made me angry. The warmth of his smile ripples across his face. But you told me that you could help. You took out the device, took away the dangerous thoughts, leaving me calm. Simple joy fills his eyes. You said you had more use for thoughts than I did. That's funny. So what was the accident? Can you remind me, please? I don't remember. The stranger held the memories and the pain, and the stranger is gone. Gratitude warms his face. You took it. Do you remember what these thoughts were? They are hard for me to remember now, he says carefully, but it was my voice. You should not have left them, it said. They are gone because of you, it said. You must learn from this, it said. He shifts uneasily, but when I tried to learn from the thoughts, they increased. They shouted. They would not leave me alone. Wow, okay. Well, it's been good talking to you. Huh. That's interesting. Wonder what that was. Entozan, a stunning man in formidable garb, greets you with arms wide open. His golden eyes stir strange, unbidden feelings in you. My friend, he says, spreading his arm, welcome. I am Entozan. The sound of his deep, rumbling voice makes you think of a waterfall at the rise of a morning sun, beatific and profound. It makes you feel drunk. Then you see Rin taking a step back, putting you partially between her and the man. She cocks her head to the side, still wary but curious. Do you know this man, Rin?
You're busy, but could we talk?
She sounds certain, but her expression suggests she's mulling it over. Okay. What's up, Rin? She looks as though she's about to say something, then shuts her mouth. This happens 3 times before she gives up. Did you want to talk to me about something? Yes. No. She covers her mouth with her hand. Never mind. Well, that's not going to work. So you were acting strangely around Aeon Tozan. Why? I don't know. I'd remember if I'd seen him before, wouldn't I? If I'd been in this terrible place? She shakes her head. But maybe we should see what he can do. Just in case. Okay. That's ambiguous. Let's see here. He merely nods in greeting. Still, a touch of that hypnotic calm rolls over you. Study him a little more carefully. You watch him quietly for a moment, and something odd happens. His gaze thickens, drifting away from you, as though you have vanished, as though you are only visible to him when you are speaking. And yet, you still feel that probing warmth within your mind, like fingers searching for a dark place for treasure, or food. Are you trying to hypnotize me? No, not trying. Trying requires effort, and the effect is quite beyond my control, he says with a slight, genuine smile. The effect is caused by my passion for studying the web of connections between people, even separated by words or, he pauses, his smile fading, death. Even in death, connections persist. His humor continues fading. He seems thinner now, frailer, less human. His voice is a dry, papery, ancient thing. My studies took me all over this world, and to lands beyond the stars, before I finally came to the bloom. Here, my hunger took on a more literal meaning. With careful hands, he opens his clothing, exposing a maw, one of the bloom's sentient mouths. You sense otherness beyond it, a gateway to a place beyond this one. Do not want. I told you my studies changed when I came to the bloom, he says. One of the maw's tentacles widens around his wrists. This is how a maw claimed me. Now we both feed, quite harmlessly, mind you, on the connections between people. I understand the sensation can be quite pleasant. The tentacle slips reluctantly from his arm. If you wish to feed us, bring a close friend to visit us. We'll be here, waiting. Yeah, don't think I'm gonna do that. That's a little... I don't know, man. I don't like it. I'd better come up with a good reason to talk to him. Oh, wait.
I'm going.
So...
I hear and I go.
Rin, did you have anything else to say about this now?
Did you want something?
Okay. I don't care how harmless he says it is, I'm not letting a maw poke around. Especially at the relationships between me and my new friends. So, yeah. Crimper. Let's see what her story is. This filthy old man is dressed in a motley of rags, arranged artfully to emphasize the inhuman reach of his needle-like fingers and the two protruding humps on his back, as if his mutations are a source of pride. He wears smoked goggles on his forehead, parked above his transparent eyelids and his noseless face. His teeth are small, even, and shining white. He shows them often as he smiles to himself. His pockets are filled with trinkets and baubles that he's picked from the piles of trash. He raises his head and says, "Ah, what do we have here? Who's come to disturb old Crimper? Have you come to search through this bounty with me? You're welcome to share." He eyes you keenly. "Share, you hear?" Sure seems like this place has a lot of trash. "Ah, this is the midden for the bloom, to be sure. I've crossed through many chambers and cavities, and none of them have this kind of refuse. We mutants do not make this much mess, and new piles of garbage appear daily. So much work." So what are you doing here? He lowers his head and grumbles. "Hey, what does it look like I'm doing? I dig, and I answer questions for fools. Hey. Not everything in a trash heap is trash, but wastrels abound. Why waste? Why waste indeed?" He combs through a mound of trash with uncanny speed and precision. "Have you ever found anything valuable?" His tone instantly softens, sounding almost pleased. "Oh, yeah, people lose all kinds of treasures in the trash." He sits back and pushes up his goggles. Unexploded detonations? Ugh. Blocks of metal that spark and stream with nanospirit swarms? A marble with a cloud of insects inside? Half-used healing injectors? He beams. "A Coloxian Asviel either. That brought me many shins." Wonder if he has a power source. What's the best thing you found? Ah, it was this. He fumbles around in his pockets, slapping at his shapeless rags, before he reaches a hidden stash and pulls something out. It's an ugly vomit-green cylinder made of organic material, about half the size of a forearm, covered in knots and whorls and tendrils. It looks like it might still be alive. I found this a year ago. It was buried near Garkoda's tank, and I would have missed it if I hadn't wriggled. Listen. He squeezes it and sets it down, and the thing begins to sing in a low, discordant tone. The device shivers and rolls around on the ground, hooting and piping through tiny mouths in its tendrils and whorls, and then issues a melancholy belch. The mouths close, and the thing ceases its movement and sound. He titters a bit. I laugh every time. I had to shed blood for that one. Some human thought to take it from me. He drops it into one of his outer pockets. Huh. Do you have any other treasures? Ah, you mean the cloaks tree in Asval? Most your kind don't catch such things. It was a simple sonic emitter, but it had the power to twist thoughts and chain perceptions. Aye, and I once found a vial of spraying energy armor. He frowns. By the time I knew what it was, the light of the breastplate had melted away and the vial was empty. He brightens again. But treasures, such treasures. Okay. Well, I'm not going to try to steal his thing. We already asked him about the songbox. If anything, it's uglier than it remembers. Okay. Well, that was weird. Well, you ask plenty of questions about the refuse and the hidden treasures here, but not so much about finding treasures of your own. Have you ever dreamed of picking your future from the ground? I can show you, oh yes. You know? Yeah, I'd be happy to learn whatever it is you have to teach me. I mean, free stuff, come on. Good, good. The first possession in your hands should be on your hands. A trash picker needs gloves or skin like synth. Stone, glass, and ordure combine in these piles, and it's not as if some sharps, and likely as not, some sharps will pierce your skin. You want none of that fluid in your core, child, or you'll end up like Krimper here or Forvrung, not right between the ears. I met him. He continues in that vein for a while, leading you to various trash piles. This one, picked clean. See how the pile is strewn in? Behold, a pile of last resort. You want these relatively undisturbed, blah, 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 blah. You spend some time looking for newer piles, and you're rewarded with the pleasure of sifting through some organic goop and chemical-scented tailings. But eventually you find something that may be useful, and you pocket it. Ancient Spirit Cube. Intricate patterns are carved in all sides of this small metal cube, which fits comfortably into the palm of your hand. It spreads warmth throughout your body. Huh. Now, over here, the others hit the pile quick but not deep. You want to go deeper than the surface, but you need to go fast and careful. He shows you how to dig through a larger pile quickly and safely, maneuvering around jagged chunks of broken synth, shattered strong glass, and splintered wood. At the end, you find an interesting piece, and you take that too. Everlit. This looks like an ordinary white candle set on a metal base. Its material is firm, pliable, and it doesn't melt or burn. There's no wick. An illegible inscription is engraved on the metal base. When you turn your eyes away, a flickering flame lights up the room, casting dancing shadows. The flame always disappears when you look back. That's so cool! Ah, you learn quickly. You have a true gift. Come back and share some time with me, child. Having paid careful attention to Krimper's lessons, you feel that you can now locate other treasures in the trash of Little Neelesh. Now that I'm hugely interested in because if you recall correctly, I am looking for a power source.
Fine.
Let's take a look. The trash piles of Little Neelesh illustrate perfectly the prevailing attitude that the mutants are garbage, only barely tolerated. The scent of unidentifiable refuse, leaking organics, and the sharp smell of melted synth combined in a particular order that makes your stomach churn. But something catches your eye, a glint of metal perhaps, something shiny, dramatically out of place in the ooze and decay. The disgusting garbage pile shifts a number of times as you shove its ordure aside, and the metal you glimpse remains tantalizingly distant. At last, though, you catch sight of a broad patch of metallic surface and snatch it before another avalanche of fetid waste collapses over it. It's a helmet, similar to those worn by the Lascars we met. Neat. The encrusted filth of the bloom covers this helm surface inside and out. It looks like it would fit a human head, but the technology that created the helm is far beyond the capabilities of anyone in the Ninth World. Lights flicker from inside, and the helm intermittently broadcasts short bursts of speech in a female voice. That's cool.
All right.
Anything else? Nothing else of interest. Look for other trash piles I can poke at. Oh, there is one over there. Okay. And more over here. More over here. Free stuff. Greed, avarice. I love it. Okay, let's go clockwise around here. Let's go loot things. And then I think we'll go poke inside the nifty transdimensional vehicle. Money? Yeah, okay. I don't mind money. It's actually not what I'm looking for, though, so... Nah. Ooh, amplified encephalitic rush. That's pretty cool.
I'm ready.
Definitely use one of those. Concentrated spray flash. Excellent. Are there any others around here? Yep. Come on.
I'm going.
Man, I was really hoping for a power supply. Fleetwood moss, yeah, okay. Well, okay, that's fine. Okay, so we met Hodor. Crimper, right? Okay, let's go check out what's going on inside the other end of this nifty transdimensional vehicle. Ooh, cool. Yeah, I've been waiting to see if there's a new reflection, and I haven't seen anything that would give me an indication. What's going on here?
Aratus, a word. Why?
I'm measuring
yes,
our cross-dimensional velocity by estimating
So
the passage
clever.
of certain landmarks. But the Katina will tell you if you just ask. That is so, but if I am to retain my mental acuity, I must exercise it. If you insist, but I'd rather let my servants serve. That's what they meant by ghosts here.
Of
You
course.
see the plumes of light? They are remnants of the star's passages. Star's passage? What do you mean? They are not the stars themselves, nor the dead pieces. They are fluctuations in time and gravity. Will they bring in money or offer tribute? Extend my holdings? If not, they're worthless to me. You miss much, then. I will teach you someday.
Trust and honesty are our bonds.
Interesting. Oh, refreshment, sorry. There's too much going on here, all at once. I'm trying to read the dialogue here. Okay, anyway. Embedded in the metal wall is a complicated display. A number of charts seem to track positional variables. She's going to sprout? What? Apparently her illicit lover wasn't human. He pollinated her. Whatever she's growing isn't a baby. What? This is so weird. Unfortunately, the text is a language you've never seen before, and so you can't discern anything more.
Of course.
Huh. So these people are just going to keep talking, aren't they? Okay, well, what's going on up here? A sign? What are you? A cloak of deepest purple ripples with the life of its own. Upon donning the cloak, the wearer is instantly overwhelmed by a blissful state of relaxation and contemplation, as if undergoing vigorous deep tissue massage. Many a wearer has become so enamored of the cloak that they will jealously guard it with their lives. This particular model appears to have been made for a small child and does not fit you or your companions. But I'm here with the small child. Alright, whatever.
Doing begets learning, I guess.
This device appears to be one of the engines that once drove this vehicle. Yeah, I can tell.
Absolutely.
Oh, I can poke it? Oh, this is a terrible idea. I love it. The blue light pulses gently. The air in the space feels charged, almost solid. A small glass control panel, apparently hovering in the air, winks with light and fills with tiny images. You raise your hand to touch the panel. Before you touch it, ghosts materialize around you, crowding you with their intangible presences, with their need. The nearly transparent Forgellan speaks. What do you intend with this? Suffering will come if you persist. Who are you people? One of the men, his fine clothes looking slightly disheveled and stained, looks at you for a moment, as if weighing whether or not to tell you the truth. At last he says, I am Anstel. I do not exist. The other man takes up the thread of conversation. I am Saradig, a merchant noble. I was on a pleasure cruise and sought to expand my business. Neither do I exist. The woman points to herself and says, On. The others are Torkra, the Forgellan, B, and her companion, M. She gestures. We do not exist because we are dead, crushed to death in the crash. We are projections of, and now the voice changes, my memory. I am the Catina's intelligence. These projections are the memorial of my failure to serve my passengers. Oh, hi! Why would you create a memorial for your passengers?
Updated my journal.
Another ghost steps forward. I retain memories of my passengers' actions. I watched them live. I felt them die within me. What else can I do but provide a memorial for them? They would have lived for many more years were it not for my failure. I was endowed with the desire to pilot the Catina, to cause my passengers to arrive safely. This is denied to me. My secondary objective is retaining the knowledge and memory of the circumstances leading up to and surrounding their deaths. This will aid in reconstructing the events of the crash and may provide solace to their survivors. Until such time as a qualified diagnostician arrives, I cannot permit my cores to go dormant. Indeed, the emotion I quantify as grief powers my display. Do you know that one of your passengers survived? A woman named Kian still lives nearby. The projections speak at once. My external sensors were destroyed. Some passengers were ejected. Calculations suggested that none of them could have survived such an event. I am grateful for this information. The Catina's voice is subdued, almost pensive. I carry a shared mind space, yeah. If we link our minds, we could preserve the memories of your riders. This isn't going to go well. Let's poke around for just a moment here. Let's kind of get the lay of the land. Something over here. An old pair of gloves, made out of thick brown leather-like material, feels comfortable and springy. Metallic studs are mounted on the knuckles. Very shiny and perfectly smooth, they appear to be made out of chromium and feel lukewarm to the touch under any conditions. When worn, the gloves quickly become a burden. The studs begin to make a faint buzzing sound. The longer the gloves are worn, the louder the buzz. After a few minutes, a pronounced fatigue sets in. The fatigue progresses until the wearer feels the same sort of numb sensation in their digits that one would have after wood carving or playing a string instrument for hours. They're impossible to wear comfortably after this point. Tucked into one of the gloves when you found them is a piece of paper. On it is a crude picture of the gloves, with various glyphs pointing to specific parts of the apparel. While fascinating, the glyphs do not indicate the glove's purpose. Well, that's weird. This passageway leading to the next segment is blocked by debris.
Did you really fall out of the sky?
I didn't fall out of the sky. I plummeted. Gracefully, I might add.
Isn't that the same as falling?
Not when I do it, no.
All right.
On it.
So, do I poke at the control panel? I don't want to do anything weird. You study the control panel carefully. If the Catina was in motion, you suspect it would convey much more information than is currently available. As it is, you're able to see that it has traveled to thousands of destinations along a route that follows specific dimensional pathways, on a circuit that, if you're reading this right, reached through the stars. The panel brings up a wealth of information about the Catina's system in the form of tiny animated images. One of the icons appears to indicate the sequence to eject the Catina's power core. Oh. That'll power up my nifty blade. But I don't want to just, like, be a jerk and shut her down.
Let's go.
Let's offer to transfer her memories first, and then we can shut her down. So I may have a way to give your passengers a more lasting memorial. I carry a shared mind space in my psyche. If we can link our minds, we could preserve the memories of your riders. One of the ghosts, Numenera, you think, says, "In your mind, it's not a question. None of my medical records indicate such a thing is possible." Her partner M adds, "However, I concede that my knowledge is incomplete. If it is possible, but no, my duty is to keep the passenger's memory alive here." I want that power core. Want it a lot. But yet, I have a lot of sympathy for this machine. It's worth pointing out that her power cores are probably going to last longer than me. Yeah, the sorrow's not hunting her power cores. But yet, I want that power core, and I'd like to get it without, I don't know, without her intelligence and memories just disappearing on the wind. So, let's see if we can convince her to transfer her knowledge to my mind. Oh, 85, that's pretty good. Wow, Hyper's really persuasive. Saradig's ghost reflects. You may be correct. The loss of physical place may be rectified through a longer and more personal memory space. I carry a neural network. Let us establish a direct connection. I have the necessary tool. A hidden panel slides open. Within lies a vaguely head-shaped mass of metal wire, all spines and jagged edges. Place this atop your head, it murmurs. A few more moments and we can begin the data transfer. Okay. So, let's place the jagged crown upon our head and attempt to absorb the Catina's knowledge into your labyrinth. You place the net atop your head, and the metal cuts into your scalp. You feel a coolness as the blood trickles upward into the device. Thin wires enter your peripheral vision and slip behind your eyes. Ah! They slice into your optic nerves, and the agony paints blossoms across your vision. The ragged shapes of pain resolve into the world around you. The world as the Catina sees it. Connection established, the Catina announces. Telemetry, destination, access to old records, ambient temperature. It's almost too much to process, but you manage to tamp down the overwhelming flow and relegate it to the background. One by one, the ghosts around you begin to wink out of existence. You can feel them awakening inside of you. Okay, let's remove the power source.
Updated my journal.
With the Catina's intelligence gone, your work proceeds quickly and quietly. You slide the containment device open. Inside the glowing blue tube, you see a rack of 10 cylinders. 9 of them are cold and inert, but one of them hums and blurs, a barely perceptible vibration as it fades in and out of this reality. You gently remove the clamps that hold the powered cylinder in place. So this is one of 10 that powered the Catina. It appears to tap into the power of collapsing singularities. It is a rare source of energy, and only a few special devices would benefit from its unique properties. The lights wink out. A dim, almost ultrasonic moan ripples down the Catina's walls as the power within the tubes and wires flicker away. An alien voice babbles something over a small speaker near the control panel. You are left standing in the darkness. Everything around you is quiet and still. Wow. Okay. So can we at least use this? Okay, so here's our device. Okay, let's attempt to insert the transdimensional power source into the handle. Hopefully we didn't do this for nothing. Yeah, 100, absolutely.
Updated my journal.
You take out the cylinder that you found in the crashed Catina and try to slide it into the compartment on the hilt. Initially, it looks as though it won't quite fit, but you discover that if you press the cylinder gently along the opening, it gradually resizes itself and fits neatly inside. Oh, cool. A small fine blade of pure transdimensional energy sprouts from the hilt. You realize that this device is a scalpel. With the twist of the hand, the blade can be quickly switched on or off. Light melee, 4 transdimensional. On critical hits, wielder gains phased. Okay, yep. A small fine blade of transdimensional energy extends from a hilt of azure steel. With a twist of the hand, it can quickly be switched on and off. The scalpel cuts through dimensions, rapidly shimmering between different realities, and ignores most mundane armors. Inscribed into the hilt is the name IOXU. Cool. Pocket the weapon. You bet. I mean, my ranged weapon is way better. But still, that's cool. Okay, well, I'm glad I was able to get that taken care of without, you know, shutting everything down permanently. I mean, it's been holding its vigil for years, it sounds like, so glad I was able to put that to rest. But I need to make a cut here, so when we return, we will go and, I guess, finally make some decisions as to what to do out here in Little Neelesh. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.